From struggling to keep his body from breaking down to hinting at a sudden retirement plan, here's the real reason Yohan Blake is about to hang up his running shoes. First up, we've got to talk about all the health issues he's been facing. From tearing his hamstring to really all sorts of injuries, the years haven't been kind to one of Jamaica's best. With so many issues popping up over and over again, it's no wonder Blake's been wondering whether he should hang up his boots. He already mentioned that there's a good chance that the Paris Games will be his last. I'll talk about that in just a bit, but can we talk about how he's helped get the sport to where it is today? He's entertained us for the better part of a decade, so the least we can do is give him a fitting send-off. Looks like he's got enough fuel left in the tank to take home another few medals in the upcoming Olympics, though I'm not sure if he'll be able to compete in any event after that one. He's aging, and there's no miracle drug to stop it. It's just the facts, and there's nothing wrong with retiring. Bolt retired a while back, and his legend still stands strong to this day. So there's no doubt in my mind that Blake's story has been carved into the minds of every up-and-coming sprinter. Throughout his career, he's managed to inspire millions. That's no easy feat to achieve. And the fact that he managed to do it with such consistency and ease, well, he's one of a kind. There probably won't be another athlete like him for a while. And honestly, I kind of want to spend some time just reminiscing about all the great things he's managed to accomplish. Blake and Bolt made one hell of a team. And while it seems to be coming to an end, it's going to stay burned into our memories for a long time to come. Say what you want about the Jamaican, but you can't doubt the work he's put into his craft. He's shed blood, sweat, and tears, trying to make sure he can stay on top. He managed to do just that with little standing in his way. It's no surprise that Yohan managed to win a bunch of medals and achieve a lot throughout his career. You don't just run at 3 Olympic Games straight without having the blood of a champion coursing through your veins. He wasn't just perfect on the field either. In fact, he's done so much for his community. He's established a foundation for disadvantaged children and spent his Christmas in 2016 delivering presents to the kids. Honestly, giving back to the community is the mark of a true champion. He never faked it and stayed true to himself and his morals. It's rare to see an athlete go throughout his career without facing a single It's no wonder that fans around the world love and respect the guy for working his off, trying to prove how good he is, and voila, he ended up reaching heights others can only dream of. There was that one time when he posted a video of himself training in some pretty bad weather. It showed how dedicated he is to his art and just how much he cares. Plus, he'd had to deal with comparisons to Bolt throughout his career. When you reach a certain level in this sport, you're going to find yourself pitted against the best. However, fans took it a step further with Yohan and threw constant comparisons with Usain his way. There's only so many tweets about being the second fastest man alive a person can deal with, and yet Blake handled it like a boss. During the early days of his career, when people were beginning to realize just how insane he was, everybody talked about how he'd always be in Bolt's shadow. Still, Yohan didn't give up, and instead of whining about it, he decided to do something about it. He ended up training even harder and eventually beat Bolt on numerous occasions. There's a reason why Usain says that if anyone ever had a shot at taking his spot at the top, it would have been Blake. And the best part is, he managed to do just that more than once. This shows just how consistent he's been throughout his career. With Bolt and Blake, there was no telling who'd win when these two ran together. At some point, things got so competitive that he ended up separating his training camp from Usain, just so he could have a better chance at coming out on top. That's some next-level work ethic right there. Still, now that he's older, there's only so much you can do. Having been in the game for well over a decade, there came a time when Yohan realized he's gotten rusty. I guess the realization finally hit, when he couldn't qualify for the next set of Olympics. He's no longer the young buck he used to be, chasing after the gold. These days, he's fighting just to qualify for some of the big events in racing. Now, this doesn't mean that he doesn't have it in him anymore. In fact, he could probably beat some of the world's best sprinters if he had to. However, his injuries are telling him to slow down a bit. And from what I can tell, Blake's realized that it'll be better to go out on top while he still can. As time goes on, if he's not careful, he'll end up suffering from more injuries, and it'll take longer to rest and heal each time. Unless he wants to permanently scar his body, hanging up his boots seems like his best bet. He's already accomplished so much throughout his career, so taking a back seat in the world of sprinting can't be that bad. In time, he'll probably end up coaching another generation of superstars who will look up to him. He's paved the way for the next set of sprinters, that's for sure. Now, it's just a matter of helping his country get there one step at a time. By the way, this guy's resume at the Olympics proves why he's one of the fastest men alive. He's the only person in history who's managed to come close to beating Bolt. In fact, there were even a few races where he left Usain in the dust. It takes a special type of commitment to be able to do that. He's also managed to win a medal or two at just about every Olympic game he's run in. There was that one time where he beat Bolt at the IAAF World Championships. Usain had gotten disqualified thanks to a false start. The stage was set for the young Jamaican to take home the gold, and he ended up doing just that. He managed to destroy his competition and post a time of 9.92. Just 48 hours later, he managed to beat Usain once again in the 200-meter race. This time, he posted a time of 19.26, which became the second fastest 200-meter of all time. He went on to win 2 silver medals at the London Olympics and 1 gold in the team relay. Fast forward to Rio, and Blake failed to take home any medals in both the 100-meter and 200-meter. Though not all is lost just yet. He came onto the relay scene and showed a burst of speed, which helped him win his second gold medal, and yet another relay gold for Jamaica. Ah, what a champ! Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, when did he announce his retirement? Well, he hasn't made a concrete announcement yet, though he hinted at his retirement plans a while back. See, he talked about how Paris is probably going to be his last dance. As much as it hurts, it makes sense. He's been running non-stop for a decade, and in that time, he's competed in every major event out there. That takes a lot out of you. So when he was at the Mumbai Marathon in January, he talked to the media outlet about his plans for the future and mentioned how he'll be focusing on the 100-meter, 200-meter, and relay in 2024. But then he added to his statement about how much of a toll it takes on him, that just finishing in the top 3 is challenging in itself. So the next time he does it will probably be his last. Up until now, he's got 6 Olympics and World Championship medals to his name. He's also been able to achieve some godlike speeds, and is recognized as the second fastest man to have ever lived. With everything that he's managed to accomplish, hearing him talk about retirement doesn't really come as a surprise. It's been a good run watching him tear up his competition piece by piece. To date, there hasn't been anyone who's been able to match his game. Well, apart from Bolt. And I don't think there will be anyone as good as these two for a long time to come. As for what'll end up happening by the time the Paris Games roll around, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So, from hinting at a sudden retirement plan to struggling to keep his body from breaking down, those were the real reasons why Yohan Blake is about to retire.